Yeah. So I'm Wormboy.
I'm Toots.
And Damien.
We're back again, guys. We're doing another podcast on a multitude of things. Horror related, of course. I mean, we're the dudes of horror for a reason.
The dudes of horror.
Specifically, we wanted to talk about...
there were technical difficulties. We had technical difficulties for a while with a laptop, so we got that resolved pretty much now that we're recording.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Uh-huh.
No, but we wanted to talk about several movies and shows, possibly. Well, not possibly, but yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about some shows. But the one I wanted to start off with, I mean, if you guys don't mind.
Yeah. No,
The scary stories to watch in the dark.
to tell in the dark.
Or whatever, you know which one.
To watch in the dark. Cause
Sorry, guys,
I'm
I'm
drinking
a little.
because it's a book. Yeah.
No, because it's the movie, so it's scary stories to watch in the dark.
Yeah. It's the PG version.
No, we all went to see that together, and I was very satisfied with that movie.
Yeah, me too.
I was satisfied as well, but I mean, like I was telling you earlier, Toots.
Yeah.
I was telling you that a lot of people were like, "Yeah, it's fucking awesome," and I was like, "It was good, but I don't think it was awesome for me." From me, you know?
Yeah.
It was creepy. It had its good story. It had everything. And then when you told me a little bit about the books, I kind of was like, "Oh man, I wish I would have done something more like that."
Yeah, because the thing is with the books, because I've owned the books for years, and I actually huh?
Hold on, Toots. Hold on.
All
right. Similar
All right,
yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, so I owned the books for years, and then after the movie, I brought them over here, and I was telling Wormboy about some of the stories, like Harold. You know, like, oh man, like imagine if they would have filmed it like exactly how the stories were. Like it would be rated R.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, like with Harold, like the real ending to Harold.
Yeah.
Know? But I still
That was fucked up when you told me because I hadn't. I was trying to remember because I read them as a child.
Yeah.
Or a child's. No, I remember reading them, but I just don't recall the exact stories until you brought it up. I was like, that's fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, basically in the story, Harold, you know, these two farmers, they make this scarecrow that looks like this one other farmer or this one other person that they don't like. So basically, the scarecrow is used to, you know, do its job, but at the same time, they kick it, they punch it, they taunt it, they make fun of it. And at some point, the scarecrow starts to move, and then it starts to kind of move and walk, you know, around the house and stuff like that. To the point where the farmers start freaking out, and then, you know, towards the end of the story, they have to go into town. They're going to be there for a long time. They have to move some livestock there or something like that. And then one of the farmers forgets something. He has to go back to the house, even though they were like, "Let's just leave Harold there. We'll deal with it later. Let's just go," you know. So the farmer that goes into town realizes that the farmer takes too long. I know it's a long. Basically, the point of it is he goes back. He sees his friend dead. Not the friend, like not the actual friend. Just he sees that Harold gets the skin. He has the skin of the friend, and he puts it on the roof to dry. So basically, he skinned the farmer.
It's like he's gonna put it on, right?
Yeah, like if he was gonna actually use it.
Like Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
In the movie, I was just amazed how exactly they got Harold to look exactly like the picture in the book.
Yeah.
I was like him more than anything else in the movie.
Yeah, and I was telling Wormboy also that one of the stories that they do in the movie is the big toe. And
that was disgusting, man.
Yeah, and the thing is, the undead lady that's missing the toe, is actually from the story The Haunted House.
Yeah.
She looks all rotted and everything. And I was telling Wormboy the story of how the haunted house, the original story, from what I remember.
Well, I was wondering how they were gonna like incorporate all the stories or whichever ones they chose from the books into the movie. So I was wondering. I was assuming it was gonna be like a darker, like
creep show,
but a similar story. No. Like a similar story to like how they made the Goosebumps movie, but like darker.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna incorporate all these characters from all these different stories.
Yeah, because they.
And
it was like, now that you mentioned Goosebumps, I thought it was very Goosebumpish, you know, and that's one of the things I told you guys after it ended the movie, where I felt like it was very like the movie Goosebumps.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't seen it, so
I haven't seen it. I still haven't seen it.
You know, it's PG, but it's still good. You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't suck. I didn't think it sucked. I thought it was really good, but it's just, to me, it wasn't really scary. It wasn't really creepy. It was very.
wait, are you talking about Goosebumps or
No, I'm talking about the
scary stories?
Yeah.
No, but there were, because I saw a lot of other reviews where a lot the thing that they would always have in common when they were reviewing the movie was they would say, and I agreed with them, and I remember thinking something like along the same lines when we were watching the movie, like sometimes you couldn't tell, like sometimes it seemed like a movie targeted towards kids, and then other times it seemed like a horror movie targeted towards adults.
Yeah.
And it was like a mix, like not that it was like.
It wasn't childish. It wasn't like
Yeah.
insulting your intelligence.
And that's what I mean. It was like a more mature version of like the Goosebumps movie. Because
Yeah.
the Goosebumps movie was clearly the target audience was children.
Yeah.
Like, but this one it got pretty dark. Like the scene in the hospital with the hugger
Oh,
thing.
that shit was creepy.
That
dude.
was creepy, man.
Yeah.
Like. Like it was just coming really slowly, but
Yeah.
guy couldn't go anywhere because no matter what hallway he turned, it was there coming, and it was just getting closer and closer, and he couldn't do anything about it. Like that was scary. Like that was not like oh, this is like a cute kids movie. Like it was intense the way it was shot. And
well, even when they did the Mitai Dowdy Walker, like where they had that chimney there, and then like all the body parts started falling.
Yeah.
Through there.
yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
My favorite scene from the movie, you probably will not agree with me, but it was the one where the chick has the shit on her cheek.
the red spot.
The red spot.
Yeah.
Oh, that was,
Not because of the spider thing, but because the way, I don't know.
The way it was swelling up.
Yeah, the way it was swelling up, the way it was like built, the way they built it up to the point where all the spiders came out and she just freaked out.
that reminded me of The Mist.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly thought that she wasn't going to survive. I thought she was going to be
Yeah.
dead. But at the end, I was like, what the fuck?
But is that a story also from the books?
The red spot. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't remember that.
That was probably one of the stories that was like straightforward.
Well, what's like a real quick, like just a synopsis of the movie, like because we're jumping around to like our favorite scenes and stuff, but like
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
sorry about
so basically, the movie takes place in 1968, and
all specific.
Yeah.
It's 1968.
it's 1968 with that Vietnam War going on.
Viet Cong.
Yeah, with the Viet Cong, and so basically, these group of kids, they go to this haunted house, or like this supposed haunted house. And there's a legend behind it where, this one girl, she was deformed or whatever, and the family was rich, and they locked her in the basement, and they fed her fish heads or whatever, and then
Fish heads?
well, you know,
That's
you get the idea. That basically they treated her badly, and then she died there, or she got sent to the sanitarium or something like that.
But she was the one that wrote the book, right?
She was writing the stories.
With her blood?
Yeah, and they stumble onto this book, and then slowly but surely, as they're going through the book, these new stories start to be written supernaturally, and then whatever happens in the story happens to the real person. Yeah.
And the story's like being written as the person's reading it.
Yeah.
And that made me think of like I was trying to think of, they reminded me of some movie like I don't know, like Never Ending Story, where Bastian's reading and he's like in the book.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
It was kind of like that.
Yeah.
But it was like a horror thing, and it's like something's coming towards him or whatever, like, and then it created like a lot of
tension.
Yeah, it created like a lot of, I was gonna say intensity, but the tension.
Yeah.
Like, because it created like there was like a short time frame they had to save whatever friend was like next, whatever friend was in the story.
Yeah.
And they would have to try to run and save them. Like, I don't know. It was It was darker than the typical kids scary movie.
Yeah, and because they could have easily just made it like an anthology movie. They could have done it like a Creep Show or Dark Side, Tales from the Dark Side of the movie or something.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that these stories that they took liberties with, because they used titles or they took out certain things from the main stories, like literally, and then or they kind of switched it around to fit the main narrative,
But it's all one, like...
It's all connected.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all connected, yeah.
It's all one story. It's not an anthology. Like, because I was thinking it was going to be an anthology.
Yeah, so did I.
Like, I was thinking, like, it was going to be something like Are You Afraid of the Dark or something, where there's kids sitting around reading the books. And then they'll show you the story as it's being read. Yeah. But it's like, no, it's like one story where they're all, like, intertwined together, like...
Yeah, and so the fact that they kind of did it in such an unusual way where these stories that are somewhat adapted from the original stories, but they revolve around this main narrative and these main characters.
And I like the way they use the little girl.
Yeah.
Because in the books, the girl's not even there, right?
No.
But I like the way they developed that story and how they kept it open at the end as well.
Yeah.
Or I think there's gonna be a part 2. I mean,
they sequel baited.
Yeah, they baited. They left you like with the hey, what's gonna happen next?
Dude, but I'm just when I first heard about this movie, and I know like it's repetitive or whatever. Like I thought Guillermo del Toro was gonna direct this movie.
That's what I thought.
And I was like, fuck, this is perfect for him. Mm-hmm. Like this is a dude that loves practical makeup and stuff, like that he's always using in his movies. Mm-hmm. Like, and he blends them so well with like CGI and stuff. Mm-hmm. I was like, this is perfect for Guillermo del Toro. And then when I found out, like, no, he's not directing it. It's just that dude with the Norwegian name or whatever, which he didn't do bad.
He was producing it, right?
Yeah, but he had
write it all?
Yeah, he was one of the ones that wrote the script. There were several screenplay or writers for the screenplay, but he was one of them. Yeah. But the director was Andre Ovredal.
What kind of jackass is that?
Ovredal. I don't know.
It looks like Norwegian or something. I don't know.
It looks Swedish
or Swedish or
Scandinavian.
Yeah, he did a good job though. The director.
And I have a feeling that the imagery that you see in the movie is basically Guillermo del Toro's like influence, because it was very well.
Yeah, I think so.
Very well adapted from the stories. Like when you see that decrepit lady or that weird like pale fat lady.
The hugger, the one in the hospital.
The chin.
I thought that was the creepiest scene.
Like Harold.
The hugger?
Yeah, in the hospital.
Like Harold, like they got those images perfectly.
I thought Harold was the best.
Harold looked awesome, dude.
In terms of like pulling it right out of the illustration in the book, I thought Harold was the best.
Yeah, when I saw the lady from the Big Toe, also
shit was disgusting, man.
Yeah, like I was like, is that chick from the haunted house?
Especially when he was eating the fucking soup. The soup looked good.
Except for the toe.
Except for the fucking... no, for real.
Oh, the stew?
Except for that motherfucking toe.
Yeah, the stew looked fucking good. Like, I would fucking take a big-ass bowl of that and eat it.
Yeah.
But the fucking toe, once I saw the nail, I was like, that you just
and
don't eat it.
And he had it in his mouth, too.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, shit.
Like, it's kind of crunchy. No, he doesn't say that, but he spits it out.
That was disgusting.
But then, like, the spoiler alert, the way it ends up is, like, the little girl that wrote the book was innocent, right? Her family were actually the ones that were killing all the kids or whoever was dying in the town.
With the water?
Yeah, basically they were tainting the water. And I think the girl knew it, and then they were like, you're going to keep your mouth shut. Yeah.
You little bitch.
Yeah. And then they're like, no one's going to believe you because we're rich. And then like they locked her up in the basement.
And then she got back at them by writing those stories and killing them off.
Yeah.
It's almost like this demented horror movie version of like a Cinderella type of thing.
Kind of.
Like in a weird way. There's certain parallels.
Yeah. But yeah, and then finally one of the main characters is like, we know you're innocent. Like, we know you're innocent. Quit your shit. We know you're innocent.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And she's like, okay.
Yeah, I was like, all right. Yeah. Tell my story. I'll stop this shit. Yeah.
And I got caught off guard with the Latino kid, the Hispanic kid, the one when it turns out.
Oh yeah.
The whole plot. Well, it wasn't really a plot twist. It was just like a reveal where he was like a draft dodger.
Yeah, it
that
was
caught me off.
Yeah.
That caught me off guard.
I didn't know that's what he was into.
I didn't see that coming at all. I don't know if y'all did.
I did.
Nah, I don't think I did.
I didn't see it.
But that kind of like. It kind of like made it put it in it was like a sign of the times, like when the movie took place.
Yeah.
So, it didn't bother me. It was just I didn't see it coming.
But the thing is, though, I like the way that. Well, I don't like the way they portrayed him, but the way they treated him, that's how those things were happening back then.
Yeah, that's how it was.
Like when they put stick on his car, and they treated him like crap.
Yeah, because they could have played it more severe if it was like an R-rated.
Oh yeah.
And what we were talking about earlier about Guillermo del Toro, I guarantee you, if he would have directed this, he would have pushed it for an R rating.
Oh yeah.
Like
it would have been it would have been awesome if that were to happen.
Like he. I'm pretty sure. Like I don't want to like say for sure, but I'm pretty sure he would have pushed it like Pan's Labyrinth kind of thing.
Yeah, check out to that movie, dude. Dude, I love that fucking movie.
It's good.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
The fawn, the way.
Yeah.
Well, the fawn in that movie was
hot for you. Yeah.
No, it's fucking awesome. I know it's CGI and part practical effects also, but he just did such a good job. So just like when you told me that you found out he wasn't the one directing it, I was kind of like, oh well. Now I kind of had something in my head of like they're probably gonna like dumb down or water down the effects.
Yeah, well,
or they're just gonna use computer generated, like you said with the spiders.
Yeah, I wish they would have used real spiders.
Like it would have been good.
Yeah, because if this would have been 1982, like Tom Savini would have had like an appliance there, and they would have had a bunch of real spiders. They would have gotten like
that scene in the high school in the bathroom with the red spot. Because me and spiders, like no man.
Because if E.G. Marshall could have a bunch of roaches on him, like imagine like someone just having a bunch of spiders on their face. Yeah.
Oh man.
And I know you have arachnophobia, so it's just
I know.
Or like it made me think of like Candyman too, and Tony Todd had all the actual bees in his mouth.
Yeah.
Those were real?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
They actually shot that and it wasn't like a dummy head. It was Tony Todd, and he had like a bunch of. He had like a bunch of trained bees like in his mouth.
Yeah.
Fuck that, man. Like.
Yeah, like imagine if they would have used real spiders for that, like,
Yeah, but how are they gonna do that?
I'd rather not.
They can do it if the actor or actress or whatever like was.
Yeah. What would you?
No, like fuck it, let's do it. I'm method, let's do it.
I'm a method actor.
Yeah. What grade would you give this movie? Like on a letter grade?
I would give it. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. It wasn't awesome, but I would probably give it like a B+ or something like that.
Damn it, that's what I was gonna say too.
I was gonna say B-.
I was gonna say B+.
Yeah.
Because to me it was like that era. I love movies that take place like in that late 60s, early 70s era, and I thought they nailed that.
Mm-hmm.
It really seemed like it was in that era. Like it didn't seem like they recreated it,
Yeah.
And the effects and the way that they intertwined all the different stories like into one
narrative,
like because I wasn't expecting that. I was just assuming it was going to be an anthology, but they did it like the way the Goosebumps movie.
Mm-hmm.
They found a way to make the characters like come out into reality like from the books, like or book in this case. But yeah, I would agree. I would say B+. Like I'm gonna definitely buy this on Blu-ray when it comes out.
Too. Yeah.
Add it to the collection.
Yeah, I would say B-, but I mean, it was good. It wasn't awesome, but I recommend you guys, if you have a chance to go watch it, go watch it.
Yeah, watch it.
I would watch it in the theater. Like, I would.
I want to go see it in the dollar movies again.
You should. You saw it at the dollar theaters?
No, I want to.
He wants to.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's there yet, but I want to.
Yeah, I want to watch it again. I want to see. I want to see what other references I can pick up. You know, because I'm sure there's other stuff within the movie.
The stuff.
The stuff. Oh, we'll talk about that later.
The stuff comes out now.
Well, the books. I remember reading the books, and I liked reading them. But those illustrations in those books, there were times where I would just flip through the pages.
You're scared?
And just look at the illustrations. Like, I wouldn't even read the stories.
That like, haunted house lady always creeped me out as a kid. Like, I was like,
is that the one with the like empty eye sockets?
Yeah,
just
all decrepit like that, all rotted. Yeah, that one. I was like, oh.
And Harold and the big toe one. The actual story used to freak me out. Like, this picture was kind of creepy, but the actual story, when I would read that, it would freak me out.
Yeah, or like even at the beginning of the movie, when you hear the Hearst song, like I was like, oh, nice, because that's one of the little things they put in the book.
And I love the little. It was like the montage at the beginning. Not montage, but they were like showing the town and all that. Yeah. And they were playing the Season of the Witch. Mm-hmm. The Donovan, I think, is the band. Yeah. The must be the season of the witch. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And they showed like, okay, it's Halloween. Mm-hmm. Like people were setting up jack-o'-lanterns and stuff. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I'm into this. They sold me already. Yeah. Like, I'm good.
Yeah, and I like the characters also. Like, they didn't.
The characters were good. I think the acting was good too. Yeah. They did really good on everything.
I remember Debbie was saying the bully with the baseball with bat? The Letterman jacket. Yeah. Oh yeah. She was like, he did a little too well, like playing like drunk and drugged out. Yeah. And I was like, maybe he went method. Maybe he was. Yeah. Maybe he was drunk and high, like when he was shooting the movie. No, that was I would definitely recommend this movie. Yeah, like, it's not like A caliber, but it's like a good movie. I'd give it a B+.
It's worthy. It's worthy of watching in the theater.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's true.
And I hope they make more.
And if you get a chance to get a hold of the books, if you haven't, read them. Yeah, get a hold of them and read them.
Buy them. Watch them, read them.
Those books are awesome for kids to like make a blanket fort. Mm-hmm. And like read to each other in the dark and like scare the piss out of each other. Yeah, those books are good for that.
So another movie or another thing we want to discuss was which one?
The Child's Play remake.
Oh, Child's Play remake.
I haven't seen this one, so enlighten me.
Yeah, you did.
I haven't seen it.
That's what I thought too. I told him earlier.
You were with us.
No, I wasn't there. Nobody called me. Nobody let me know that you guys were going.
I thought he did go, right?
Yeah, you weren't there.
And I was available. I was there, and nobody got a hold of me.
It was on a Thursday, though.
I could have still gone.
And it starred your girl, too. Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah. Like and that's why when I saw on Facebook, I'm like, oh, the guy is Child's Play. Okay.
I think she did okay. She wasn't that great, but I think the boy did the best in the movie. The one that
played Andy.
Andy, yeah. But nothing compared to the original. I mean, it was good. It had its own kind of spin to it.
So how was Mark Hamill as a?
Mark Hamill was good. Dude, creepy. But I remember, like, I was like, Brad Dourif is still around, like. But I know they want to make it like they want to take it like a different direction or whatever.
Yeah. Now, so this doll wasn't like evil per se. It was more like a robot. Yeah. That somebody that was like an AI, artificial intelligence. Yeah. They were making all these Chucky dolls, and they would, be there with you. They would talk to you. They would ask you how your day is going. Pretty like an Alexa kind of thing. Yeah. But it was in a doll form. Mm-hmm. And then this guy got pissed off that the ones that were making them in the lab. Yeah. Because I forgot one of the supervisors was telling him, like, don't. He got pissed off at him for some reason.
No, the movie starts.
Supervisor.
Like spoiler alert. Like spoiler alert for the Child's Play reboot. It has nothing to do with voodoo. No, there's no Charles Lee Ray. There's no serial killer. Yeah. There's none of that. They had like balls, the writers, and they took it in a completely different direction. It's more like it's more like Chucky meets the Terminator.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and there were even like his eyes would turn red.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Terminator, like if Chucky was a little mini Terminator.
Yeah.
And like what you were saying, Worm Boy, the beginning of the movie, it starts like in Japan or something, right? Wherever they're mass producing the little Chucky dolls, and there's an employee like
just like Teddy Ruxpin.
Yeah, pretty much. Just like that.
And there's an employee getting shit from his boss that's on. He's like on the assembly line.
He's like, hurry, make more.
So he loses his temper, and the doll that he's working on, he disables like all the
safety features.
Yeah, he disables like the safety features that keep the doll from becoming violent or like
malfunctioning. Yeah.
And
why would they have that option there to begin with?
It's a movie, tits.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what basically this doll does, it learns from your behavior, it learns from the experiences. But if it's connected to you, like let's say you're the one that has it, tits.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't want to. He wants to be your best buddy, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, my buddy. You know.
Yeah.
And if somebody else hurts you, that doll's gonna hurt that other person.
Yeah.
So this, Chucky
mm-hmm.
starts to learn that there's these people that are that are fucking with Andy,
Mm-hmm.
and he, little by little, he starts to learn. He starts to like, oh, well, I thought that's what you wanted. You know? He's like, no, I didn't want you to do that.
Yeah.
I didn't want you to kill her or do this to her. Like, yeah, I didn't like what she did, but that doesn't mean you can kill her.
And then he's like a smart doll too,
Mm-hmm.
but he's like the way I'm trying to always understand the tech stuff. Worm Boy.
Yeah.
Like he can connect to like all the other like computers and toys and everything surrounding him.
Smart equipment and stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the devices around him, Chucky can control.
So basically, Chucky's like, the more contact I have with humans, the more I learn.
That's what I'm saying.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. Like
Terminator.
it's like Terminator, but he's just like a little Chucky. He's a little good guy doll, but he's like a Terminator.
I'm just remembering that Simpsons Halloween special where Homer has the little Krusty the Clown doll.
The one you pull?
Yeah, the one you pull with
string,
the pull string. And then it's just like, I'm Krusty the Clown and I don't like you.
Yeah.
And like, and I'm Krusty the Clown, I'm going to kill you. And then it turns out there's a switch for evil and good in the back.
Yeah.
So that's that's why when you were telling me about like, oh, the guy fucked with the doll, and I was like, well, why would that option be there to begin with?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it's like they had those precautions like to keep the doll from doing anything violent or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy just got pissed and he like just clicked off like he disabled all
those safety features.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, I need to see it to actually because right now I'm kind of busting its balls for that.
It was good though.
But I remember thinking about Aubrey Plaza.
Mm-hmm.
That I was like, she's like too young to be cast as Andy's mom, and and she's creepy as fuck too.
She's creepy as fuck, I admit, but she's fucking hot.
She's gorgeous. Yeah,
she's just weird.
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
But she looks like evil, dude. Like
that's what she naturally
looks. You know what I mean? Like she's not ugly, but she looks like if you were making out with her, she would like bite your tongue off.
Yeah.
She looks
she
like
would.
Yeah, I'd go out with her.
No, but then when we actually saw the movie, that's kind of the character. Like she had Andy when she was like a teenager, so she's like 30 or whatever, however old she's supposed to be, and he's already like 12 or however old he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And there's one. Well, we can't spoil the movie because you haven't seen it.
No, I mean.
But the funniest scene. I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm just gonna say this.
It's coming out soon.
The funniest scene in the movie for me involved the reference to Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2.
Oh yeah.
But I'm not gonna spoil it.
That was funny.
That was fucking hilarious.
All right, because I like me some Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
But that's I'm not gonna spoil it.
Not as good as the first one,
but it's a good movie. I think you should see it. Like once it comes out, and
I wanted to see it. Nobody told me you guys were gonna watch it.
Just get over it. Build a bridge.
All right.
Get over it.
All right.
Dollar movies.
Dollar movies. I don't think it's there anymore. But it's a good movie though. Check it out. Another one of the movie. Well, before we move on to another one, I think that one was like more like a B- also.
Okay.
Damn it. That's what I was gonna say.
No, yeah.
Toots stole the grade, the last movie, and then you stole it. I would say B, because I was gonna say like maybe a B, but I'm like no, B-, like because there were some parts where the writing was like uneven and stuff, or like they would involve certain characters where it was like
it didn't make sense.
What's up with this? Like why is this part of this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would say like a B-, but the writers were bold though, because this was not like a remake at all in the terms of like the same exact story. Like it's a completely different story.
So it was like a reimagining. Well, I'm using that
reimagining.
In quotations. I'm using that in quotations.
But I would recommend it though.
All right. So the next movie.
La Llorona.
I know you haven't seen that one.
I haven't seen it. Did you see
but
that?
But what do you think about before we talk a lot about it? I mean, you've heard of the Llorona.
Oh, yeah.
From our culture.
Say the legend.
The legend.
Just
like, what do you know about the legend kind of thing?
Well, depending on who you talk to, because there's variations of it. But basically, the story, I'm going to use that word again, basically. The story of La Llorona is that this woman falls in love with this like rich aristocrat kind of guy. They have kids, and then at some point, the guy falls in love with this other girl, so he decides to dump her and the kids. The lady gets so upset that she drowns her kids in anger. Then she regrets it, and then I believe she drowns herself also. And then. So the story is that she walks usually through the Rio Grande Valley, or not the valley, but the
I know the river.
Rio Grande
River.
Yeah.
Or just any body of water.
Or any body of water that's close by. The region. So basically, from where we're at to El Paso, basically.
So she looks for kids to drown them and kill them.
So she's crying. She wails, she cries, for her children. And if you happen to be walking where she is, well, I've heard a couple of versions of this. That if you hear her crying, if you hear her weeping, then you'll have bad luck, or that she'll try to take you. Whether you're a kid or not, and just if you're there in the vicinity. So it depends. Like I said, it depends on who you talk about. It depends on who you ask. I've actually seen a couple of videos where somebody will be living close by the river, the Rio Grande River, and then they'll hear this like outside, and they're like, and in Spanish they'll be like, holy shit, like what's going on, and then they have it happen like every night or almost every night at a certain time.
Yeah.
So I've seen videos like that. Whether they're real or not, I don't know. But to the point where it's actually kind of creepy when you think about it. That you're in your house and then you just hear this wailing going on. And it's not that far from you, and you're like, holy shit.
Well, I remember because in San Benito, like the Resaca runs right through the middle of town. So everybody had a La Llorona story, like, oh yeah, I heard her by the river, like by the Resaca.
Probably drunk.
Yeah. It's whether it's real or not, I've always been fascinated by the folklore in this area.
Yeah.
Like, and I was excited that like folklore from where we're from, like the region where we're from, got like a full on like Hollywood movie. Like I thought that was cool that the curse of La Llorona came. And then when I found out it was part of the Conjuring universe, I was like, that's even better.
It was, but I think they fucked it up.
Yeah,
they fucking fucked it up.
Of course, yeah, he usually does.
I didn't think the movie was horrible. Like my wife, like Debbie, didn't like it at all.
Yeah,
but I thought it was fun.
Yeah,
but it was like you said, they messed it up.
Did you see it at the Dollar Theater? Or did
I saw it when it came out. I think I saw it by myself.
We saw it at the Dollar Movie.
Like they went. I think I saw it with
Oh, okay. All right.
But what happened was that I don't think it was a good movie.
Oh, okay.
It was okay. I wouldn't go see it again. I know Damien has a different perspective, and I respect that. But I think they kind of messed up the Conjuring universe kind of thing. It was like another Nun kind of thing.
I didn't realize it was part of that universe.
Well,
I didn't think so either, but they mentioned it.
Very loosely part of the universe. There's one small reference to like another movie in the Conjuring universe, and and there's one character that doesn't come out very much.
Mm-hmm.
That's in another Conjuring universe movie, but I didn't. This is what we were talking about anthology movies earlier.
Yeah.
What I was thinking, because I've been thinking about this movie a lot, and I was like, it was a fun movie, but it seemed like the writers were trying to
like pander.
No. Like they were trying to like stretch out the story to make a full length feature film.
Oh yeah.
Like, and what I was thinking was like the other time that or just any time where we've talked about like the folklore around here, like the brujas, the lechuzas, the duendes, like all the folklore around here, you know?
Yeah.
La Llorona and the Chupacabra. And all that. So what I was thinking was, if they made an anthology movie with all the different folklore around here,
man, that would fucking be awesome.
That would be good.
Yeah, that's what they need to do.
That's what I was thinking. Like, this movie was fun. Like, and they go into the legend. There's like the like I'm gonna use your phrase, Toots, the exposition dump.
Yeah.
When
just go ahead and keep talking.
When they go into like the legend of La Llorona, and it's the priest.
Yeah. I kind of like the priest though. He was pretty cool.
No. I'm saying like it's cool. Like it's badass, but it seemed like they were trying to, like, I don't know, like they had a lot of opportunities in the writing to make it really good.
They did. And
then they would just drop the ball, like the how they introduced the character at the beginning, the other mother. That when they because Linda Cardellini's character was like she works like in the Child Protective Services, right? Like that's her job. And then they introduced that other Patricia character, the mother, and she has to go to her house, and they make her take a cop with her, and she has her two sons like locked up in the closet with all these symbols on the walls and stuff.
Yeah, because she's protecting them.
Yeah, but from Linda Cardellini's perspective and the cop's perspective, she looks nuts.
She
looks crazy.
She's abusing them pretty much.
From their perspective, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
And then you find out like, oh, she's actually protecting them from La Llorona. And I thought that this movie would be really good and I know we mentioned Candyman already. If this movie had been more structured like Candyman, where Linda Cardellini's character slowly, as she encounters La Llorona, she slowly starts to like have to do those same things, and then from the outside world, she looks crazy.
You see,
and by the end of the movie, she's in the same position that the Patricia character was in.
Yeah.
In the beginning, where she looks nuts, and then you as the audience know what's going on, but none of the other characters in the movie know what's going on. So you're like rooting.
So it's too late.
Yeah. Then it would have been good, and it actually seemed,
that makes a lot of sense.
But it actually seemed like that's where they were going when the cop showed up and the other girl that worked at her office showed up, and they were having to ask her questions because her kids were showing up at the hospital with like the burn marks on their arms where La Llorona was grabbing them.
Yeah.
And they had to like investigate her, and they were kind of accusing her, but not accusing her yet.
They didn't really know yet.
Of abusing her kids. And it seemed like that's where they were going, and I was like, okay, I'm with this. But they just abandoned that, and then the end of the movie just became like the whole showdown with the curandero guy, and I was just kind of like...
It, for me, like where you're going with that, like it kind of disappointed me. It was disappointing. It was an okay movie, but they had so much potential to build on it and actually like tell the story and you know make it more interesting, you know, but they just didn't. And then for it to be part of the Conjuring universe, I was disappointed.
Oh, and there's something else I have to bring up. It seems like the Conjuring universe movies, or there's a lot of like. It seems like they're doing a lot of like uniform things, and like in this movie they had another shot at the beginning of this movie, just like the first Conjuring, just like Annabelle Creation, where it's a single shot, tracking shot, where they're going through the house.
Yeah.
And there's everybody's running around busy and doing stuff. And there's like a classic rock song playing. And there's like a single shot, like going through the whole house, like a tracking shot. And they did that in this movie too. And I remember when we saw Annabelle Creation, I was telling Debbie, like, oh, they're doing it just like in The Conjuring. Like, which is, I mean, that's impressive camera work, whatever, but it just seems, and that's cool. But it seems like it's like, I don't know. It seems like whatever directors that they're hiring, like, and David F. Sandberg did a badass job with Annabelle Creation.
Yeah,
that was actually a good movie.
Yeah,
but it seems like all the other directors, like the Mortal Kombat Annihilation guy, the one that did the first, the one that did the first Annabelle movie.
Yeah, Annihilation. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he did the first. He did the first.
Annabelle Leonetti.
Movie.
Yeah, Leonetti.
That guy, and it seems like they're like trying to copy what James Wan does in the Conjuring movies.
But they can't do that.
But they don't have like the creativity.
They don't. They suck at it.
Yeah, the flair.
They don't have James Wan's creativity, and you know what I mean.
It almost seems like they're trying to make their own James Bond gun barrel logo, you know, or like X-Men when you see the door like you know, like it goes in and stuff like that, you know.
But me, like La Llorona, the movie, and I know it was a first-time director. I think his name is Brian Chavez. I don't know. I had IMDb open right now. It's and this is a first-time director.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
So,
I can kind of forgive that. Yeah.
But I don't know. Michael Chavez. That's the director's name. But this, if I had to grade La Llorona, I would say I didn't think it was like terrible. Like I would give it like a C+.
I'd give it a C-.
It's a fun movie. Like, and it's because the thing is,
I disagree, but because I respect your opinion though.
Remember what I was always saying about Paranormal Activity, the marked ones?
Yeah,
that's like a good movie.
But most critics slammed that movie. Like they didn't like it, but to me, I was like, this movie reminded me of like, because in every town, in every neighborhood, all the kids always have that. There's always that one creepy person that lives in your neighborhood, and there's always rumors like, and that movie is like, if that was real, like Paranormal Activity, the marked ones.
Yeah,
it was like if that actually was real, like whoever that bruja lady is, she actually is a bruja, like, and so that's why I like that movie. So, and that's why I think a lot of people that aren't from around here didn't get that, and they didn't like it.
Yeah. They won't make the connection.
So that's the reason I liked The Curse of La Llorona. Like, but I acknowledge, like, it was, the writing's kind of, like, the acting's good, whatever, but where they really dropped the ball, I think, was the writing, and like I mentioned when we were talking about Annabelle Comes Home, the makeup on the La Llorona, it looked too like
the nun.
Yeah, but it looked like makeup. Like it looked too much like, oh, that's somebody in creepy makeup, like with the glowing eyes. And if they would have made her, like Debbie put it really well, like if they would have made her look like all decayed and dead, and you know what I mean, and like all wet, like drowning, like just came out of the water, like
because according to what I've read about the legend, is that either you'll, when you see La Llorona, like she'll either have like no face, so it's like a blank face, or something like that, or she'll have like a horse face, like she'll have like an animal face almost, like That's what I've heard.
I didn't hear about the horse phase.
That's what I've read.
I've heard of the phase that you can't really tell what it is.
Yeah, like you can't see anything, or it's like a horse, like a donkey, almost like that. Like she's disfigured like that. But you know what would be cool is if they made a movie like an anthology, but based on like the ghost of Fort Brown kind of thing, where they have the legends. Like that would be interesting.
No, but that could be.
Hollywood doesn't work that way, to us.
No, but that
you know how
Hollywood.
No, but that could be part of the anthology movie that I was talking about earlier.
Why don't we just fucking do it?
Yeah, we should.
All like low budget, like Be Kind Rewind.
Kind of.
Like, you don't know, dude. People don't know about the history.
Everybody starts getting interested.
There's a lot of history here. I've been trying to get Zach Baggins to come and fucking go to the college.
Yeah, we should try to get.
Didn't respond.
Yeah, like imagine some of those stories that are in
They're
those
creepy,
books.
dude. They're creepy stories. There's that kid that holds your hand if you're a female and walks with you because he lost his mind.
Yeah, supposedly a boy drowned like in the Resaca there.
No, but I mean there were actual battles.
Yeah.
At Fort Brown.
Yeah, it's a fort. You can hear the
no, because
the horses also.
Because I heard a story and I don't know if it's true or not.
It's probably true.
But when I used to live at the dorms at UT, like, and the dorms were right on. Back then they were the old Holiday Inn when they were right on the other side of the Resaca.
Oh yeah.
And I heard a story that some dude, like, they were hanging out, they were partying, whatever, at the dorms.
Yeah.
And one guy went like on a beer run or a Whataburger run or something.
Yeah.
And you know the road that runs.
Which you should.
Of course.
And you know the road that runs right along, like, but on the other side, like where the old gym is, and then you like where the bookstore is.
Yeah.
You hang like if you're coming from the old dorms.
Yeah.
Like, and then you hang a left right at the bookstore, and you go up that road that's right along the Resaca.
Yeah.
And then eventually you're gonna hit the morgue and the hospital and all that.
Yeah.
Well, apparently he took that road. He took that road and he was wherever he was going. I don't know. He was gonna do a beer run or a Whataburger run or whatever.
Which I'll have to say, don't drink and drive. So if you're going to do a beer run or Whataburger, make sure you're sober.
But then when he went back.
Yeah.
When he went back to the dorms, he was telling everybody that was there. He was like, "Hey, is there like a?" And he was like, "Hey, is there like a parade going on right now, like the Charo Days or whatever? Like, what are the other parades that they have, like, or Sombrero Fest or whatever?"
Yeah.
Because you know how that sometimes they'll have horses.
Yeah,
usually in the parades.
Yeah, usually with parades is like Charo Days. Yeah, Sombrero Fest is just like in Washington Park.
No, but you know how they'll have horses sometimes. Because he said he was like, "Nah, bro," like, and he wasn't scared because he didn't realize what he had heard. That he was saying, "Hey, is there like a parade going on in downtown?" But it like completely was not that time of year for Charo Days or Sombrero Fest or whatever. And he was like, "No, because dude, I heard like a bunch of horses and I heard a bunch of dudes like arguing, like that they were trying to get in position, in the right position."
Yeah.
And he was like real adamant, like he wasn't lying. Like I heard a bunch of men like arguing, like get over here and get lined up.
Did you hear this firsthand? Like, were you there at the party?
No. I heard it from somebody else.
Oh, okay.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know if it was true or whatever, but it's creepy.
Yeah.
Because they told him, they were like, "Where were you?" And he said, like, "Oh, when I was on that road that I was telling you." He's like, I heard like a bunch of horses.
But he didn't see anything. He just heard.
He didn't see shit. Yeah. So he thought it was coming from like downtown. He thought he was hearing it coming from like downtown, like right across International. And they were like, "Nah, bro, I think you probably heard all the cavalry that died in one of the battles here. Like that's probably their ghosts. Yeah, they're still arguing, like, because it sounded like he said he heard men arguing, like get lined up over here, and no, you guys get over here, and arguing like to get in position, like." Yeah. But he didn't realize what he was hearing, and he said he could hear a bunch of horses too. So he thought it was like a parade, and they were like, "Dude, this is not like the time of year at all for that. Like, there's no parade going on." Like, yeah. And he got really fucking spooked.
Yeah, like to clarify, basically, where we're at right now, where we live, there's a tradition or there's a holiday called Charo Days. This usually happens towards the end of February. Usually from the 25th, 26th to like the 28th, 29th, depending if it's a leap year or not. So usually, you know, people will dress like mariachis and sombreros. We'll have this thing called Sombrero Fest, and there'll be like 1 or 2 parades that'll happen like in the downtown area, which isn't that far from the college. Actually, there's a college and a university. I'm not going to get into the details why. But basically there's 2 schools of higher education in the area. And what happens is basically there's a legend that, you know, because this area that used to be a college and university and all that, and most of the town really was battleground, you know, during like the Mexican-American War and, you know, stuff like that, that you do hear like cavalry, you do hear, you know, basically marches of soldiers, you know, every now and then. I personally have never heard it. I've had my own experiences at the college and university and whatnot, but they're not like in what's called the Ghosts of Fort Brown books. Basically, it's a series of books that was written by a local author years ago, like back in the 2000s. Hey, Dexter. Yeah, it's one of the dogs. And basically it tells about stories from around here. So when I mentioned like oh, that'd be cool to make an anthology of the Ghosts of Fort Brown, so basically I'm referring to a series that are made up of these 3 books that are basically like spirals, really, like spiral books that talk about the legends.
You can just, if you're not in this area, you can just Google like the Ghosts of Fort Brown.
You'll see it.
Like,
yeah.
Because the thing is, the university used to be an actual
battleground,
operating military fort, and it was General Zachary Taylor was the commanding officer there, and there were some significant battles there. So there's plenty, and like we've said before, the old morgue is still standing. The old hospital is still standing.
Yeah, most of the buildings that are still standing are actually Cavalry Building, Regiment House, Commandant's Quarters, Gorgas Building.
That shit is fucking haunted though, dude.
Yeah, that stuff. I've experienced stuff at where I work at, and you know, that stuff was built like in '95. You know, but so it's that whole ground, it's that whole area.
So it's like
people died.
So the Ghost Adventures guys, if you're listening,
Zach Baggins.
Yeah.
Come do a show at UTB TSC in Brownsville.
Yeah.
Or send them a message on Twitter.
What's TSC and UTRGV now? Yeah, that's the ground. Those are the colleges, but like I said, I've said it in a previous podcast. I've had my own experiences there. You know, but like I said, there's already these legends that kind of go about this.
But that story freaked me out because they said that the guy that was mentioning that that he seemed genuine. Like he was like, no, really, like I heard like he was asking like, is there like a fucking parade going on right now, like Charo Days or whatever?
Yeah.
And they were like, no, dude, like, and he's like, I swear, he's like, I heard, but like he didn't seem like he was faking. Like, and they're like, no, dude, like I think you heard like the ghosts of the guys that died.
You hear the ghosts, you hear the horses, you hear the gunshots,
the marching,
Because he said
the
that
cannonballs going off.
But he said he heard a bunch of horses and he heard a bunch of men arguing like where to line up and stuff. Like you guys get over here, and like, no, move up over here. Like he just heard like men's voices in all directions.
Like you used to fucking live in the apartment. Or we used to live in the apartment.
No, but that's what I mean. Like
that's fucked up.
When I lived at the dorm, somebody told me that story.
Like it sounds like residual hauntings.
I think we should do a review of it, or explanation when the ghost tour starts. I think they're bringing it back. Maybe we should go.
I would like to go to that. Yeah.
We went once.
Well, that's what,
dude.
Well, yeah, remember that's
this
where
guy was freaking out.
Yeah, remember that's where.
Remember that picture I fucking saw? I gave you
with all the orbs and shit. And
not just the orbs.
No,
the woman.
that thing you saw. That woman. Yeah. And but yeah, like
you saw La Llorona.
No.
On the Resaca.
Maybe. Like, and it wasn't just the battles. It was also when I think malaria or something was going around, and Dr. Gorgas was there working with the victims and the patients and stuff like that. And then that's why they.
He's the smoker, right?
Yeah, he was the one that would smoke cigars or cigarettes in that area. And that's when we had that ghost tour. Like, you remember when the guy that was running it? Like, we started smelling cigarette smoke and nobody was smoking. And he was like, "Shut up, everybody, shut up!" Like, do you smell that? Yeah, like, do you smell that? Yeah, like, and
I smelled it.
I smelled it too.
And the thing is, it didn't smell like cigarette smoke. It just smelled different. Like, it smelled like smoke, but I just couldn't make it out.
Like a pipe or a cigar.
Yeah, like a pipe.
Yeah, because the cigar has a very like pungent odor to it, more so than a cigarette. Because most of the cigarettes nowadays are just manufactured and they have chemicals in them.
But cigars like don't have filters at all, right?
No,
like
no.
Cigarettes
you just bite off the tip and then you just smoke it like that. But yeah, and then that's where I offered a cigarette to Dr. Gorgas, to his ghost, or whatever, in the upstairs, like a thing in Champion Hall or something like that. And then that's when the orbs were like following me in the pictures. And then I had to, and between North and South, I'm like, okay, it was a gesture of good faith. Please don't follow me home or anywhere. Just stay here. You know. And then afterwards, that lady was taking pictures, and then the orbs were gone. It was maybe like one or two left. That was creepy. That was really creepy.
Well, I just think like back to like when we were talking about the curse of La Llorona, like if it was part of an anthology movie where they didn't have to like stretch it out to an entire feature film, and they could have like the Fort Brown ghosts could be a part of that anthology movie, like, and just have each piece of folklore have their own short like their own short little film like within the anthology, like all of them, like the Lechuzas and all that, like like how the Brujas, and then they could have like a little like funny one, like kind of like Cat's Eye, the one with Drew Barrymore, with the little troll or whatever, like that's in her bedroom. They could have like a little kind of funny one, like with the duendes. Yeah. Like even like kind of like Tales from the Hood or like, and then they could have La Llorona be part of that, and I think it would have been a lot more effective that way.
Speaking of the Fort Brown ghost, did I tell you that one time? Because I listened to realghoststoriesonline.com. It's a plug to another podcast. Right? You can listen to them. You can listen to them on YouTube, but they have their own website. And I was listening to one of the podcasts, and the girl that was talking on there was actually referring to the school.
For real?
Yes. And
was she there or?
Yeah, like she experienced something there, like in the mirror. I want to say it was like in Tandy.
Tandy House Haunted, dude.
Yeah, or one of the other buildings. But she was like, yeah, it's in this, like she specifies the town and like, oh, okay, it's a UTRGV or UTB, like she specifies the school. I'm like, holy shit, like that. And I'm listening to this at work.
I'm telling you guys, we need to put the word out there. Maybe Zach Baggins can go and check it out. And we would be the, what do they call it, the connoisseurs or the...
We would be like the connection.
Yeah, we would be the liaison.
There you go. The liaison.
We would get credit, and we would get a small credit in the after the show.
Imagine them interview. According to Damien, what have you seen? Well, I sometimes heard the stories.
No, it would have to be this guy.
The cavalry and.
Now this has just become like illusions of grandeur.
I know. Hey. We can do it, dude. He's going. Well, speaking of Zach Baggins, they're gonna go to the Conjuring House, the real one, and they're gonna investigate it.
The Perron House.
Yeah.
Well, just by some miracle, if the Ghost Adventures guys happen to hear our little podcast, this is the Dudes of Horror shout out for y'all to come to UT, what would it say?
UTRGV.
TSE.
Yeah.
Yeah. The university in Brownsville.
Brownsville, Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come, if you don't come, that means you're just really scared.
No, dude, those guys.
No, I'm joking.
Those guys aren't scared, man. I've seen them guys. Like,
I don't know, dude.
I would. No, it's like the shit those guys do on that show. I'd be like, fuck that.
I wouldn't know
Like,
that shit.
they're all by themselves in the dark, like in a haunted somewhere.
They should go to the Brownsville Cemetery and see how that shit goes. Because that's what, remember afterwards, the guy was like, we're going to go to the Brownsville Cemetery. And I'm like, screw that noise. I'm not going.
I wanted to go, but this guy didn't want to go.
I didn't want to go. I was scared.
If I'm in a group, I wouldn't get freaked out, but
I was with him and he didn't want to go. But like, if maybe this year we all go, like we can go. Dude.
well, it's like I'm always saying, like,
It has to be in a large group this time.
but but I mean, it's like I'm always saying, like, Debbie's real. She's like you, like, she's afraid something's gonna get attached and you're gonna bring it home. But like with me, it's like I always say, like I'm like a ground cable. Like nothing supernatural ever gets attached to me or
Yeah.
Well.
Oh yeah.
No, it's like I'm saying. Like when I was in 8th grade, I was actively participating in playing with
Ouija board?
it was a makeshift Ouija board.
No
like,
way.
Yeah, some friends of mine who will remain nameless. I was like,
All scared.
They made like a makeshift Ouija board, just like in The Conjuring Part 2, where
Yeah.
the girls made, and we were playing with it, and I was like, I was thinking in my mind, like, a part of me was like, it's whatever, it's dumb, but there was that other part of me that was like, I don't know, man, like something could get.
That stuff opens doors, man.
And nothing, bro, nothing. I went home, and my life continued like it did, like it always had, like nothing.
Or so he thinks.
Like
No,
I didn't
I
experience
I
anything.
understand
Like,
that. It's because for some reason you don't attract that.
But I don't. But the thing is, I don't automatically assume that people that tell stories like that are lying.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, maybe they're like conduits or whatever. Like,
Maybe we should do a podcast when we use
like,
the Ouija board.
I'm not using a Ouija board. I'm not doing that.
Why not?
I'm not.
I don't want to.
No, I don't want to.
Well, you don't have to. I'll do it for you.
All right, you do it, but I'm not gonna do it.
Oh, okay. Nah, I'm just fucking.
Yeah, but
another movie that I think is important to review is the Brightburn movie. It's fucked up.
You need to see some damn movies, dude.
Yeah,
I
that's
know, like,
dude, that movie.
Ironically,
watch it.
Ironically enough, I got Shudder recently, and I've been watching more movies on that.
No, but I mean like the current horror movies. Like,
well, yeah, that's why.
You need to see like Brightburn, Curse of La Llorona, the new Chucky.
Yeah. The Chucky I wanted to go see, but you guys went without me.
So it's let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go.
All right, I'm gonna let it go.
No, Brightburn was pretty cool.
Brightburn's fucked up, dude.
Like in a nutshell, it's like the same story as Superman. It even takes place in Kansas, but instead of Smallville, it's Brightburn.
Yeah,
that's the name of the town.
Brightburn, Kansas.
And it's like if Superman went evil instead of like good.
Good.
Yeah.
Instead of like all Justice League.
Basically, red kryptonite kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's fucked up, dude.
But I mean it.
But it's fucking good.
But I agree with a lot of critics that say it seems rushed. Like it kind of gets like the pace is really quick, and it kind of like gets to the main plot. Like there's not much build up to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like within the first like literally like 10-15 minutes, it's already going full on. Like he's showing signs of turning evil, and like there's not much of a backstory to it.
Yeah.
Like, but it's still good. It's like, and Elizabeth Banks plays the mother, and I don't know the actor's name, but the dude that came out like in Joel Edgerton's The Gift, and he came out like he's one of the parents in the Power Rangers movie.
He's the one from The Office, dude.
He's the father.
The Pam's ex-boyfriend.
Oh yeah, I know.
What's his name?
I don't remember his real name.
Big guy.
You know him.
Yeah, I know who he is.
He does a good job though.
Yeah, the owl acting's good. Even the kid is good.
Yeah, the kid is really good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, but they kind of like set it up, like at the spoilers. They kind of like set it up where they're gonna do like this dark DC universe where they're gonna have like the
Aquaman.
evil counterparts of like all the Justice League.
So is he supposed to be like Bizarro or something like that?
No. He's like just evil Superman.
He's evil Superman,
And then
they show a video.
They hint at the end, and
they hint at the end where like Aquaman, the evil version of,
and the evil Wonder Woman.
So they capture their stunt doubles like in Spaceballs.
Yeah,
pretty much. But this movie is good though.
Yeah, it's good.
I give it an E. Like I like it.
Wow. For you to give it an A,
it is good. I liked it. I think it's an A.
And the kills are like, and the suspense is like badass. Like they build up the
like
suspense.
James Wan suspense kind of thing.
Yeah, it's almost that caliber.
Okay.
It's up there. Like
it's just
not quite.
It's to me it was very original, very different, and like I thought it was gonna suck. But no, I was like, wow, I was impressed.
I would, for me, this movie's like in the A- B+ range. Like it's good.
Okay.
Probably an A-. Like it's good. Like, and it is a little rushed, but I don't know. It's kind of like it didn't. It's not like it's not a negative.
Yeah, it didn't hinder the movie experience.
No, not really.
All right. So the next movie that's coming up is It Chapter 2, because that one comes out less than a month. So I'm just curious when we're gonna buy tickets for that, because I know the tickets are available.
Well, I know
it comes out September 6th, right?
Yeah, September 6th.
It's in 2 weeks.
I don't know, dude. Like the trailers, it looks like I'm gonna go there, dude. I'm gonna say it. Like this movie might be better than Chapter 1.
Mm-hmm.
Like even though like the old miniseries is notorious for the second part with the adults being like horrible.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like the trailers are making this look like, oh shit, like they're gonna step it up even like to the next notch from Chapter 1, which was really good.
Yeah.
Like, and then they actually got like James McAvoy and Bill Hader and Jessica Chastain. Like,
she's hot.
Like they got like some good fucking actors to come out. Like, and then Bill Skarsgård's coming back as Pennywise.
Man, he continues to be brutal as fuck.
Because even in the trailers, they're showing like at the beginning of the book, the part I actually read.
Yeah.
Like, where it's kind of like the two gay guys getting harassed by the townsmen, and then like it's one of the bullies and one of the gay guys that falls over the bridge, and then the other bully sees like millions of balloons under the bridge.
Yeah.
And they kind of show that in the trailer. Like they show they just show like this wall of balloons, and it made me think of that part in the book.
Yeah, because that's like at the beginning of the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when they show Pennywise floating with like he's holding like just a bunch of balloons, like, and I'm kind of like I don't know. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna say it. Like it looks like it might be better than Chapter 1. Like, but I've also heard that it's gonna be like 3 hours long.
Good God.
Yeah, I heard that it's about 3 hours or almost 3 hours.
That's too long, man.
I've also heard based on early screenings, like from fans and people, like that, and this is what the consensus was. And by no means am I saying, oh, this is what we're gonna think. Who knows? It might be. We still need to see it, obviously, but. Basically the consensus for them was like it's really good, it's not as great as the first one, and Bill Hader steals the show. That's pretty much the consensus that I read. They didn't go into spoilers, they didn't go into anything. They just said some of them were like, it wasn't as good as the first one, and some were like, wow, this is really good, this and that. Not as good as the first one, but really awesome, but really good. Well, but they all said Bill Hader steals the show.
Well, because it was kind of like in the first movie, every scene where like when Finn Wolfhard had like dialogue as Richie, he would steal that scene.
Yeah. So
it's kind of like maybe it's the character, but they are both really funny actors.
Yeah, Bill Hader's funny.
Like, well, Finn Wolfhard has like range though, because his character Mike in Stranger Things, he's more like Bill Denborough in It.
Yeah.
So he has like range because he does a good job as Richie Tozier.
Yeah.
And as Mike in Stranger Things. So, but I don't know, man. I want to see it. Like,
oh yeah, I still want to check it out. I want to see how this goes, and I wonder how deep into the novel they get, especially once they get towards the end and the more.
I want to see the big showdown because
with the spider.
I'm like, please, like
that was the original, right? The spider.
But that's in the book too, right?
In the book, it is a spider,
but it's like metaphysical.
Yeah, it's not because it actually is a spider. It's because that's how the human brain or their brains were able to perceive Pennywise. Evil. Yeah. Like before they cross that threshold into his true form and actually like basically die of fright, basically.
Yeah.
So the spider is just another form that he does basically because that's how they're able to perceive him without fucking dying from fright.
I wonder
his true form. It's not his true form.
They hinted at it a bunch of times in chapter 1. I wonder if they're gonna bring that big turtle.
Maybe, I don't know.
Does it have a name in the book?
I'm trying to remember what it is. I'm trying to remember. I think it does, and they have a lot of terminology. Because I read the book.
I want to see it.
Yeah. Because I think I finished reading the book maybe a few months after the first It came out.
Because Jessica Chastain really impressed me in Crimson Peak.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Because she's creepy as fuck in Crimson Peak. Like she's an excellent actress.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know she's not like that at all.
Yeah.
Like in reality.
Yeah.
But like when she played Tom Hiddleston's older sister in Crimson Peak, like she's creepy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you seen it, right?
No, I actually haven't seen it.
Well, yeah. I mean, she did away with the red, but she's creepy as hell in that movie. So I was cool. Like I was like, okay, that's badass when I heard that she got cast as Bev.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to see it, man. And then they actually have James McAvoy come out. I was like, oh shit! Like, and then remember when we did the review a long time ago, and you were talking about like, are they gonna have Ben be the one that stays behind in town?
Yeah, or Mike. You know.
But it's Mike. Because they give it away in one of the trailers. Yeah. Like they're keeping that part the same. Like it is Mike as the one that stays in Derry.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't know. I want to see it.
Yeah, me too.
I could go on and on about, and it's the same. It's that Andy Muschietti or
Muschietti or
the same. It's the same director as the first one. Like, and I was like really impressed with his camera work in the first movie.
Yeah.
So, and then the the kids, the performance that he got out of all the kids and everything. Like, so I thought it was cool that he came back for chapter 2.
Yeah, and I was telling Wormboy that I started reading Dr. Sleep because that one's gonna come out in November.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
Part 2 to The Conjuring. Right?
No,
The Shining.
I mean, The Shining.
Yeah.
And they got Ewan McGregor.
Mm-hmm.
He's still doing work.
And he is playing. He's Danny, right?
Yeah, he's Danny.
Yeah.
Yeah, because remember, like before I started watching the trailer, I was like, I remember in the novel from what I read that there's
who's directing that movie?
I don't remember.
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah.
Steve Buscemi.
No. But I remember.
What's the name of the movie?
Dr. Sleep.
Dr. Sleep.
Because I was like, I remember reading like in the novel, there's a girl with there's a lady with a top hat, and then like in the trailer you see the lady with the top hat. I'm like, oh, see, there you go. Yeah.
Well, we all saw the trailer together, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we saw it together, and I was like, I remember Dr. Sleep, lady with a top hat, and then like right then and there, like you see the lady with the top hat come out in the trailer. Like,
oh shit!
What?
Mike Flanagan's directing it. Mike Flanagan's like, he's a badass horror actor or horror director, man. Like he directed House on Haunted Hill, the Netflix show.
That's a good fucking movie, dude.
Gerald's Game, Hush, Oculus.
Oculus is good.
Fucked up movie.
And then Ouija, Origin of Evil, Before I Wake, and I think I want to say he directed some of the VHS movie, but I think that was Adam Wingard.
Oh, okay.
But Mike Flanagan, okay, yeah, all right, yeah, I'm definitely gonna go see this because he already has a lot of very, very well established credentials, like as a director in horror. Because all those movies are good. We like the first Ouija was like it was like a C plus movie, and then when he did the prequel, The Origin of Evil, he just like he totally redeemed that franchise. That was like a badass movie. And then Oculus was badass.
Yeah, I really liked Oculus, and I wonder if they're gonna do the movie kind of how they're doing in the novel, because at the beginning of the novel, and I've only read the beginning of it, it's just that it starts off a few years after the whole shit went down with The Shining. So you see Danny as like an 8-year-old or something like that. Like you actually see him older, and then I'm sure once it gets into the hefty part of the novel, it becomes he's an adult. So I wonder if it's going to start off with him as a kid and then kind of gradually get him into the because they're kind of resolving the whole Dick Hallorann and him, know.
I mean, just having those names, those people involved, Mike Flanagan directing and Ewan McGregor playing Danny.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'm sold. I'm gonna go see this shit.
Yeah. I just want to read it before the movie comes out. Not like it, where I read some of it, movie came out, read the rest of it, and I was like, oh, okay, well, at least with part 2, I get to see, Yeah. All right. So that's our review of some of the movies. Most of them I haven't seen.
Get on the ball.
You only saw one.
I saw one.
The Scary Dark movies.
Upcoming horror movies that we're definitely going to go see.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a while. I'm glad we finally did another podcast. I've been missing it.
We're gonna try to get better equipment and stuff like that. But look, like don't forget about us, especially you, Supermodel Music Man.
Yeah.
That reminds me.
We haven't forgot about you, man.
And I'm waiting for Brent and Lauren. They got a new film they got a new short horror film on the way.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Because I've seen posts on their Facebook where they're.
No, it's good. Don't get distracted.
You need to pee or what?
Huh?
Go, dude.
No, let's just finish this. I can wait.
I understand.
Well, anyway, like I'm looking forward to Brent and I'm really looking forward to Brent and Lauren's new horror short movie. I keep watching here and there. I watch Supermodel Music Man. So this is us signing off. This is the Dudes of Horror signing off. I'm Damien.
Wait. There's Brandon Lauren, the Supermodel Music Man, and I remember I told you other one. I still need to look it up on Twitter. There's another person that wants us to review their.
Okay.
I think it's called Mannequin.
Okay.
One of their short films.
Oh, okay.
It's called Mannequin.
All right.
I'll be more than happy to do it.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, signing off.
Okay, the second time signing off for good this time. We're the Dudes of Horror.
Yep.
I'm Damien.
I'm Toots.
And Worm Boy.
All right.
Woo!
See ya.